Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Dr. B's Celebrate Thoughts. This week, we will be discussing scholarships and other opportunities for the class of 2020. I am pleased that I will have three very special guests with us tonight who will be talking about opportunities that their organizations and companies have available. First, I just have a brief message for the class of 2020. Just a reminder, as you've heard in some of the graduation speeches that have been happening, please remember that you should not let this crisis define you in a negative way. We know that you have lost a lot this year. Most importantly, you have lost the opportunity to walk across the stage with your classmates. But please know that there is some kind of method in this madness that will come out of this crisis that no one could have predicted. Please use this crisis to do better, to still go on to college, to still pursue your dreams. And a lot of what I have on my page is to help you do that. And what our guests will speak to tonight will help you do that. So again, congratulations to the class of 2020, and we hope you find this information helpful. So these are the special guests that I have tonight, Mr. Prosper from Prosper Investments, who will talk about his company's scholarship, Ms. Espy from K-12, who will talk about the all-important Job Shadow Week that's coming up this summer, and later on we'll have Ms. Kemp come on from It Takes Two, and she will talk about a chat with the class of 2020. So first, we will actually begin with Ms. Espy, who will talk about Job Shadow Week. Ms. Espy.
Thank you so much, Dr. B, for allowing me to come and join you in the wonderful state of Louisiana. K-12 is housed here in Herndon, Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C., your nation's capital. And Job Shadow Week is a national career readiness initiative that exposes students to the skills, training, and connections that they're going to need, not just for any old occupation, but for something fulfilling long-term and hopefully financially stable. We all know that you can't aspire to something that you don't know exists. And so Job Shadow Week ensures access to career-ready insights beyond the classroom using 21st century technology to make this possible. We all know that 21st century technology as Zoom, and it's something that we've all become very astute to using. What does Job Shadow look like, especially in this coronavirus season? Normally, it looks like students going to a company and engaging with subject matter experts face-to-face and live. Well, we can't do that really in coronavirus season, so we figured let's have a very virtual session. So students are going to be offered with many ways to keep up to date on the industry's most sought after skills and engage in and understanding and how a workplace function, something beyond the classroom. And so the organizations that we have are plentiful. We've got Google, we've got Microsoft, we've got the Motion Picture Association, you know, those folks who say, and the Oscar goes to. We have the Miami Dolphins. I just got off the phone with them this afternoon, and they're going to participate. We've got NASA. Yes, we've got College Board. So for your students who are anxious and interested in the PSAT, AP, and of course, the SAT, College Board is coming to present. So that's going to be really exciting. We've got the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Agriculture, and one of my colleagues with whom I used to work with at the White House Initiative on Educational Excellence for African Americans. So many more will present, and we're so excited to have these students, to have these experts come and inspire students and help close the gap between high school and industry awareness. So what is it going to look like? Well, from July 13th through the 17th, Monday through Friday, students will have an opportunity to get some training from those professional experts. And not only that, but we're going to have some other initiatives like Tallo, which is sort of like a LinkedIn, but for high school students. And they're going to come and present their digital opportunity where students can come and create their resumes, connect to opportunities like college admissions, apprenticeships, scholarships, jobs, and a whole lot more. So we're really excited. Students can register at jobshadow.com, and I'll put that in the chat in just a second. And able to come Eastern opportunities. And again, they can learn more at Shadow Week. Are there any questions that you might have for me? Because that's it in a nutshell.
Yes, so how with schools not being in session like that would, I guess, normally be your go-to to get this information out. And of course, like through social media, like how else are y'all getting the info out so that more kids will know about this opportunity?
Our marketing teams from Tallo, K-12, and the host company, the host platform, Nepris, are all having their marketing teams send out student information to their respective students, to state departments of education, across some of their social media favorites like Instagram, Snapchat. So they're going to put their information and sort of commercials on those platforms to reach as many students as possible. I should mention that this is appropriate for students ages 13 and above, and we're really targeting those students who are juniors and seniors in particular, since they're going to be graduating, and we hope to offer them not only a plan, but something exciting for their career choices. And of course, some students don't know what they want to major in or the career that they want to go in. And so this is an opportunity for students to learn more, engage, maybe walk away with a mentor from one of these amazing companies because that's what they want to do. The students can have an opportunity to present themselves and insert themselves into this pipeline early, which is all about. And so the companies will also have an opportunity to see sort of the type of students who are interested in maybe being recruited. So this is going to be a very, really neat way for students to have an entry-level opportunity to engage with these companies. So that's how they can learn more. You can also go to jobshadowweek.com. You can also find us on k12.com. We have a special section for the summer series.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jay. And jobshadowweek.com is linked to the Dr. B's College and Career Facebook page. And my daughter will also be uploading it to Instagram. So students will also be able to find it there. So thank you so much for this information. This seems like an invaluable opportunity, and participation should be amazing.
It should. We already have 1,500 students registered, and we've not even touched social media. So we're excited, but want to make sure that we offer this opportunity to as many students as possible. And again, you don't have to be a K-12 student. You can be any student from anywhere in the world.
Thank you so much. Thanks again for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And next, we will have Mr. Prosper come on, and he will talk about the important scholarship opportunity that his company is offering. Paul?
Awesome. Well, Dr. B, thank you for the invite, and appreciate you giving me a few minutes to talk about the scholarship. And Jay, I really enjoyed hearing about your program, and I've got a goddaughter in New York, and I've got a couple friends in the DMV who I am sending this information to as soon as we finish with this. So hopefully, and you answered my question. I didn't know if it was anchored to the DMV region or anywhere in the country, but you answered it. So I enjoyed that. So thank you. Okay, so moving on to the Prosperous Investment Scholarship. My name is Paul Prosper. I started the scholarship in 2013, actually. And pretty much every year I have been awarding the scholarship, and my minimum award amount has been $1,500. And I kind of started using a crowdsource strategy with it, where I would challenge my network to donate or match me or top my donations, and it's been pretty successful so far. My background, I'm an active duty Air Force officer, currently stationed in Oklahoma City. I was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and I moved to New York when I was 10. And frankly, I don't have any business being where I am right now based on upbringing, statistics, everything throughout. And so I consider myself either lucky or one who proved all the statistics wrong. And I've been in several organizations that work with children, and I'm realizing that it's not genetic, it's not us, it's just we don't have opportunities. So I decided to do whatever I could to help out with providing an opportunity. Might be a small one, but it's an opportunity. And last thing, I want to go away when I leave this world saying I didn't help or I didn't try. So all that goes into why the scholarship has started. So another cool thing with the scholarship, with me doing my own scholarship, I get to choose my topics, and I keep my topics pretty relevant to what's happening in the world, especially from our perspective. So for example, the scholarship that's going on right now for 2020, the topic is about felony disenfranchisement of felons and the 6 million felons who cannot vote, and depending on what state they're in, ever, and other states, you know, the amount of hoops and hurdles they have to jump through. So I really try to come up with topics that will challenge the high school seniors that apply for the scholarship. And other details about the scholarship is for high school seniors. Usually no more than 2 pages. I get my deadline is always 31 May. The scholarship always goes live on 1 March every year. It's always on my website. I will also post a link in the chat. And so far it's been very empowering, very fulfilling. I'm very grateful for the participation that we get, the amount of scholarships we get. It's got to the point where, well, I think the first 2 scholarships got to the point where I had to pull myself out of the grading business, because some of my peers, their children, my friends, my fraternity brothers, their children were applying for the scholarship. So I had to get out of there so I couldn't get accused of any bias. And so I do have a grading committee stood up, and I actually black out, take out all information on the essays that give away names or anything, just to reduce any chance of bias. And the grading committee, they get the rubrics and they grade, score them, and send them back to me. And I make the announcement no later than 1 August to the winner. And another cool thing is I have no idea what the winner looks like until I reach out to them, I contact them, and I ask them for a picture to post on the website. And that's when I first find out who the winner is and all that information. So it's usually a pretty fun ride, and they're all displayed on the website. And at this point, I will open it up to any questions.
Wow. So, and I don't think when I looked at it, I didn't think I realized that there was like this essay requirement to the scholarship application. So about how many applicants do you get yearly, or how many have you had so far this year?
Usually every year I get between 20 and 30. And so far this year, I think I have about 8, but usually right about now, if I go to the P.O. box, it's probably jam-packed or they have a crate. So it's usually the last minute rush where I'll really get bumped up over 20. So just reminded me I need to go check the P.O. box.
Yes, and that deadline is Friday, correct? No, it's the 31st.
The 31st, correct.
Yes.
Let me pull up my calendar. Yep, Friday the 31st.
Yes.
So actually, no, the 31st is Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, so Sunday. So if there are any students out there that are still looking for a scholarship opportunity, I know with my daughter, we were filling out applications until the very end. She finished last year. She's at Spelman now. So yes, just all scholarship opportunities that are available are helpful and truly a blessing. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming on and speaking to that.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Dr. B.
You're welcome. And now I'll share my screen just one more time. It is a pleasure for me to, go back to share screen. And now I'd like to introduce Ms. Kemp, who is from the It Takes Two organization, and they have a very special event coming up called A Chat with the Class of 2020, which just kind of touched my heart. Again, as a 2019 parent, I could not have imagined going through this last year. So we know that there are a lot of organizations out there that are really doing everything they can to support the class of 2020. So without further ado, Ms. Kemp, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Sorry I'm late to the party, but thank you so much for the invite. While expected, I believe there's timing and everything that God does, so I appreciate the opportunity to share what we have going on here. I am Jamila Kemp. I am the founder and CEO of It Takes Two Incorporated. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that awards scholarships to students that live in single parent homes. And those scholarships pay for school supplies, books, uniforms, academics, and sport registration fees. We haven't announced this just yet, but we have made some changes to our scholarship in preparation for a possible distance learning for the upcoming school year. So there will be some additional things that we'll be able to pay for. One thing that's unique about the program is that it starts at 4th grade and it goes all the way to college, age 26. And again, these are for students that live in single parent homes in select counties here in the state of Maryland. I also have a nonprofit consulting startup firm where I help other people who want to give back to their community in a variety of different ways as well. And for me, I just love young people. I love depositing into them, seeing what we can get out of them and help them tap into what they love, what they want to do, and helping them kind of realize what life is going to look like for them after high school. So with this being this pandemic is unprecedented. We had no idea it was coming. It took everybody by storm. And I don't think we still have really wrapped our brains around what it is and what it's going to look like post-COVID-19. And for the class of 2020, it's hard for them right now going through graduation and having to have drive-throughs or no graduation at all. Prom is something that we all look forward to in our senior year, and they weren't able to participate in that. So as an organization, we wanted to get together and try to figure out what can we do in some capacity to support the class of 2020. So the middle of this month, we actually had It Takes Two Senior Celebration Week, where it's highlighted some seniors across the United States. It told us what their life after high school plans were. Some were going to college, some were doing entrepreneurship. So that was our one way of kind of celebrating them and saying, hey, we see you and we applaud you for your efforts in this crazy environment that we're going through right now. So the chat with the class of 2020 was the second step and kind of, opening up the door to the conversation so that their voice can be heard. And with It Takes Two, our youth are the focus. So we need to know what they feel, what they're going through, so we can provide the solution to it. So this conversation is just that. It's a conversation with about 15 students. We're still recruiting. We need about 5 more to hit our number of 15. But we want to just have a very frank and candid conversation about how the senior year was for them, what they went through, their feelings, their emotions. But we also want to have some fun and share maybe some remote distance learning snafus maybe that they were trying to go through, give some words of encouragement to rising seniors, give each other encouragement as they go on to their next chapter in life, whatever that may be. And as an organization committed to them and education, we want to hear some lessons learned from them. What could the school systems have done better? Did anyone ask the students, what are some possible solutions? And maybe that wasn't an opportunity because we were all just kind of scrambling, trying to figure out what we do next. So we really want to take what they have to say and translate it into something that's going to better the community in case we see this again, or for possible students who have to, deal with the distance learning in the upcoming school year. So that's what the chat with the class of 2020 is about, just to hear from them and to learn from them as well.
Okay, thank you. Is it specifically for seniors in the Maryland area?
Not in Maryland. We thought about that, and I think it's going to be interesting to hear different perspectives from different states and different districts and jurisdictions, and maybe some districts did things that others could have implemented. We're all still trying to figure out what the plan is. So I really think our young people are going to give us some things to chew on, and maybe help the educators in those, in those positions to make those decisions, to kind of consider what they have to say.
Yes, and you are going to get a number of different perspectives, even in New Orleans, among different districts. Literally, schools right down the street from each other did things differently.
Right.
So it's going to be a really good chat, hearing their perspectives. A couple of weeks ago, I did a session with a few high school seniors and first-year college students,
Okay.
where the college students got to give advice and the high school seniors got to ask questions. So even that was just another vehicle where high school students got to give their voice and feel supported through this process. Mm-hmm. So I think like this chat with the class of 2020 that It Takes Two is doing is phenomenal. I currently am a middle school administrator, but I was high school 20 years, and I just believe in giving students voice. Yeah, so absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. I'm excited about it. And one of our Position for Greatness Youth Program students, he's in 10th grade. He's a rising junior. He's actually going to be co-hosting it with me. With our youth program, we try to ask them what they want to be better at, what their challenges are. And it's being open and kind of getting from behind the curtain like me, and kind of putting him a little bit in the front. So he's excited about it. I'm excited for him to kind of do his thing and kind of lead the conversation and learn along the way. So, but I'll be right there, right by his side, coaching him through the process.
Wow, that is wonderful. Thank you so much. And thanks again to all of the guests for joining me this evening. I am going to go through a few things on my page. Y'all are more than welcome to stay in, but I know that you all probably have some other things to do. But again, you are more than welcome to stay. But like I said, I'm just gonna go through a few other opportunities on my page before I end the session. So again, thank you all so much for being here. And now, just as a final wrap up for this evening, so just a few opportunities that are still available on the UNCF page. I know that there have been some comments about from parents, my child is going to an HBCU. So the UNCF scholarships are particularly for those students attending HBCU. So you want to check out what's posted on the page. Now this one I had not seen before. Yesterday, the application deadline is in July, and it's the Papa John's Power of Perseverance Scholarship Program. Click on the link so that you can see the criteria for that. The Jack and Jill Scholarship, this is one specifically for UNCF. This deadline is coming up on June 8th. So again, apply. On my page, I have posted the general ones where the criteria is high school senior. Most have a GPA of a 2.5 or higher. There's no ACT score listed, must be going to a HBCU, but there are others on the UNCF website that are specific. If you're going into travel or if you plan on majoring in the media. So you want to check out all the ones on the UNCF website. This is another post for a giveaway for the class of 2020. You also want to check out College Thriver. They have a virtual lit graduation celebration coming up. And this post from College and Beyond is a post about employment opportunities for students. And that was a career fair that already passed. And this one from TED Talk, I believe you still have the opportunity to upload your message. Feel free to do that. You never know who is watching these things and what other opportunities may become available. So those are the ones that I wanted to talk about on my page, but please scroll through the page and make sure that you are not missing any opportunities. Do not leave any scholarship money on the table. Apply. And that ends this week's session of Dr. B's Thursday Thoughts. Again, thank you to my very special guest who joined me this evening, and we hope that everyone takes advantage of what was presented this evening. Good night.